Are you over 50 and wondering if your financial habits are setting you up for a peaceful retirement or quietly working against you? Many people make costly mistakes after 50 that sabotage decades of hard work without even realizing it. If you want to avoid financial regrets and protect your future, stay with me. This may be the most important video you'll watch this year. Turning 50 can be a wake-up call. For some, it comes with a deep sense of clarity. For others, it brings uncertainty and anxiety, especially around money and retirement. The kids may be grown, your career may be slowing down, but your dreams are still alive. You want freedom, peace, and enough resources to enjoy life, not just survive it. But here's the truth most people don't like to admit. It's not how much you've saved that makes or breaks your retirement. It's how many mistakes you don't make after 50 that truly determines your peace of mind. In this video, we'll walk through 7 of the most costly financial mistakes people make after 50, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. Because you deserve a retirement that's not just financially secure, but emotionally freeing. 1. Underestimating future living expenses. One of the most overlooked and dangerous assumptions people make about retirement is that their living expenses will shrink dramatically once they stop working. It feels logical. No more commuting, business clothes, or daily lunches out. But reality has a different plan. While some costs may disappear, many others quietly take their place and often increase over time. Retirement isn't about doing less. It's about finally having the freedom to do the things you didn't have time for before. And freedom, as wonderful as it is, often comes with a price tag. Think about more frequent healthcare appointments, prescription medications, unexpected dental procedures, or even simply helping out with your grandchildren's school supplies or family vacations. Add in home maintenance, car repairs, and rising utility bills, and your so-called simpler lifestyle may not be so simple or cheap. Now picture this. You're freshly retired and excited about your long-awaited dream to travel. Suddenly you're booking plane tickets, paying for hotels, eating out at restaurants, and perhaps even indulging in a few luxuries. These aren't unnecessary expenses, they're part of the life you envisioned. But they add up fast, and before you know it, your reduced retirement budget begins to mirror your working years or even exceed it. Then there's the silent killer, inflation. What most people don't factor in is how much more expensive life becomes with time. A grocery bill that's $100 today might be $150 or more 10 years from now. That's not just annoying, it's financially dangerous if your income doesn't keep pace. And if you're living on fixed income sources, like Social Security or a pension that doesn't adjust significantly, your purchasing power will quietly but steadily decline. It's like a slow leak in your financial boat, barely noticeable at first, until one day you realize you're drifting farther from stability than you ever expected. The solution? You can't afford to guess. Don't just plan based on your current expenses. Instead, project forward 10, 20, even 30 years. Use retirement planning tools that factor in realistic inflation rates, medical costs, and lifestyle goals. Build a cushion, not just a budget. And don't make it a one-time exercise. Review your spending every year and adjust as needed. A dynamic plan is a safe plan, because retirement is not about pinching pennies. It's about preserving your dignity, independence, and freedom. And that starts by facing your future expenses with open eyes and a clear plan, not just numbers on a spreadsheet, but peace of mind written in ink. 2. Dipping into retirement accounts too early. It's tempting, seeing your retirement accounts with sizable balances and thinking, just a little won't hurt. You've worked hard your whole life, and that money feels like a reward waiting to be enjoyed. But withdrawing from your 401k or IRA before age 59.5 can come at a steep price, a 10% early withdrawal penalty plus income tax. That small decision can quietly cost you thousands of dollars more than you expect. But the real danger isn't just the penalty, it's the opportunity cost. That money isn't just sitting in your account doing nothing. It's designed to grow over time. Every dollar you withdraw early cuts off its future potential. What looks like $5,000 in your hand today could have matured into $15,000 or more in a decade, money you might desperately need later. And here's what many people don't realize. Early withdrawals can unexpectedly push you into a higher tax bracket, especially if you take out a large sum in 1 year. That means an even bigger chunk of your savings gets handed over to taxes. The money you thought would bring relief ends up shrinking far more than you anticipated. Now, imagine reaching age 70. You're finally ready to settle into the retirement you envisioned, only to find your nest egg isn't large enough. Why? Because of small, seemingly harmless early withdrawals made 10 or 15 years earlier. It's a heartbreaking realization, and it happens far more often than people talk about, not because of crisis, but because of impatience, convenience, or poor planning. The smarter path: build a bridge plan. If you're considering early retirement, identify alternative income sources to cover the gap before you're eligible for penalty-free withdrawals. Consider part-time work, taxable savings, or adjusting your lifestyle temporarily. Every year you delay tapping into your retirement accounts gives your money more time to grow and more power to support your future. Think of those retirement accounts as sacred ground. You planted seeds for decades. Now, let them grow undisturbed until the harvest is truly ready. You worked too hard for that money. Make sure it works just as hard for you. 3. Carrying debt into retirement. Debt is a thief in retirement. It steals peace of mind, flexibility, and even sleep. When you're living on a fixed income, every dollar you owe is a dollar that doesn't support your present lifestyle or your dreams. And the burden grows heavier when the debt is high interest, like credit cards, payday loans, or personal lines of credit. Think of debt as a shadow that lingers even on your happiest days. You're out enjoying lunch with old friends or walking hand in hand with your grandchild through the park, but somewhere in the back of your mind, the weight of an unpaid balance quietly nags at your sense of freedom. It doesn't scream, it whispers, but that whisper never stops. And for many, this isn't a single loan or one small balance, it's a web of financial obligations built slowly over time. What once felt manageable in your 40s can become dangerously overwhelming by 65. Why? because the equation changes. You're no longer replenishing your income every month. Without that regular inflow, every outgoing dollar stings just a little more. What's more, the psychological toll of debt in retirement is rarely discussed, but it's very real. It causes hesitation, second-guessing, and often prevents retirees from enjoying what they've worked so hard to earn. Instead of spontaneity, there's worry. Instead of joy, there's calculation. The path forward begins with awareness. Take inventory of every debt you have. List them out: balances, interest rates, monthly payments. Then, create a focused repayment strategy. Start with high-interest debt using the avalanche method, or small balances, first using the snowball method, whichever keeps you motivated. Look into refinancing options if interest rates are favorable. And perhaps most importantly, resist taking on new debt unless absolutely essential. That new car or kitchen remodel can wait. Your peace of mind cannot. Freedom in retirement doesn't come from how much you've accumulated, it comes from how little you owe. Becoming debt-free is more than just a financial milestone. It's a deeply emotional one. It means waking up without dread, spending without guilt, and planning without panic. Because in retirement, true wealth is peace, and peace is much easier to find when you're not carrying yesterday's burdens into tomorrow's plans. 4. Financially supporting adult children. Too long, we raise our children with love and devotion, pouring time, energy, and resources into helping them grow into independent adults. And often, we continue that support well into their adulthood, because love doesn't stop at 18. But as the years go by, it's worth asking a difficult but necessary question: at what cost? It's a delicate subject, one we don't often talk about out loud, but many people in their 50s and 60s are quietly sacrificing their own retirement security to help adult children with rent, car payments, student loans, or unexpected emergencies. The intentions come from the right place: generosity, protection, compassion. But the consequences can be more severe than they seem on the surface. Imagine this. You've spent decades building a stable foundation for your retirement. You're not aiming for extravagance, just a life with dignity and comfort. Then, your 28-year-old child calls. They've lost their job. You help. A few months later, they need help again. Then they move back in. Groceries, gas, utilities. Your budget begins to stretch and eventually sag. Little by little, your plan shifts from retirement peace to parental rescue mode. This pattern, over time, drains more than just your bank account. It quietly wears down your emotional peace, your sense of autonomy, and often the very relationship you're trying to preserve. What starts as help can become habit, and without boundaries, that habit can become expectation. And here's the hardest truth. Sometimes continued financial help can delay your child's own growth. The safety net you provide, if not balanced carefully, can discourage accountability or resilience. You're trying to protect them, but in the long run, you may be holding them back.
That's where healthy boundaries come in. Boundaries aren't cold, they're caring. They create space for mutual respect, not resentment. You can still offer support in ways that don't jeopardize your financial future. Emotional encouragement, wisdom, and even occasional help if truly needed. But make it clear that your retirement plan is not a backup plan for their adulthood. Have the tough conversations now. Set expectations early. Let your children know that your financial well-being is not just for you, it's a legacy for them too. Because when your retirement is secure, you're less likely to become a burden to them in the future. The truth is this: your financial stability is the cornerstone of your family's long-term security. Protecting that isn't selfish, it's responsible, wise, and profoundly loving. 5. Avoiding investments out of fear. At 50 or 60, fear becomes a louder voice in your financial decisions. You've lived through market crashes, recessions, headlines about lost pensions, and stories of friends who lost everything in stocks. So it's no surprise that many people retreat into what feels safe: cash, savings accounts, or very conservative investments. It feels protective. It feels responsible. But often, it's a silent mistake. Here's the reality: cash doesn't grow. Over time, it actually shrinks. Inflation chips away at its value bit by bit. What seems like a safe option today can become dangerously inadequate 10 or 20 years from now. A portfolio that avoids all risk also avoids opportunity, and in retirement, opportunity matters more than ever. Think of investing like gardening. Yes, there are unpredictable seasons, storms will come, but without sun, nothing thrives. You don't need to chase high-risk stocks or time the market, but you do need some level of growth to protect your purchasing power and preserve your lifestyle. The real danger isn't the occasional market dip, it's letting fear convince you to stand still when you need to move forward. The good news? You don't have to choose between reckless risk and total safety. There's a middle ground, diversified, balanced investing designed specifically for people in or near retirement. Bonds, dividend-paying stocks, index funds, and annuities can work together to give you modest growth, income, and stability. Ask yourself this: if you retire at 62 and live to 90, how will your money keep up without growth? That's nearly 3 decades longer than many people spend working. Your investments need to last just as long. Working with a financial advisor can help you build a smart asset allocation plan based on your goals and risk tolerance, not your fears. The right plan will help you sleep better at night and spend confidently during the day. Don't let fear dictate your future. Let wisdom lead instead, because in retirement, playing it too safe can be the riskiest move of all. 6. Failing to plan for healthcare and long-term care. Healthcare is often the single largest and most underestimated expense in retirement. Many people assume Medicare will cover all their needs, but that's far from the full picture. While Medicare is a valuable safety net, it doesn't cover everything. In fact, it excludes most dental, vision, hearing, and long-term care services, all of which become more essential as we age. Now picture this: a loved one is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. They require full-time supervision in an assisted living facility. The cost? over $50,000 per year, often more. Multiply that by just a few years, and even a well-funded retirement plan can buckle under the pressure. It's not a scare tactic. It's reality for millions of families every year. Yet, despite these known risks, many retirees never include healthcare in their financial projections. Why? Because it's uncomfortable. No one wants to imagine being sick, dependent, or unable to care for themselves. But ignoring the possibility doesn't make it disappear, it only makes it harder to manage when it arrives. That's why the smartest retirees don't just plan for income, they plan for resilience. This means considering long-term care insurance before you need it. Premiums are more affordable and approval is easier when you're younger and healthier. It means setting aside a health-specific emergency fund. It means having honest conversations with your spouse or adult children about what kind of care you would want and how you'd want to receive it. Planning isn't just about protecting your assets. It's about protecting your dignity, your independence, and your ability to make choices when life gets hard. And don't forget the emotional burden. Without a plan, decisions often fall to your loved ones, who may be unprepared, unsure of your wishes, or torn between options. Having a plan in place eases that pressure. It gives your family a roadmap in the storm. Healthcare costs won't go away just because you don't think about them, but when you face them now, you gain something far more valuable than money: control. And in retirement, control is everything. 7. Not having a strategic withdrawal plan. Imagine building your retirement nest egg for 30 years, saving diligently, investing wisely, and watching it grow only to see it start disappearing in less than a decade. Not because of bad investments or a market crash, but because there was no real plan for how to use it. This is a surprisingly common reality. Many retirees withdraw from their accounts emotionally, sporadically, or in reaction to short-term needs. A new roof here, a grandchild's college tuition there, or just the monthly bills that creep up unexpectedly. Without a strategy, it becomes easy to overspend, or worse, overspend from the wrong accounts. Some retirees dip into tax-deferred accounts too early, triggering avoidable taxes. Others pull too much too fast, increasing the chances they'll outlive their savings. And some take only the minimum, living more frugally than they need to, out of fear, robbing themselves of enjoyment in the years when health and mobility still allow for it. Think of your retirement withdrawals like cooking a complex meal. You need the right ingredients in the right amounts at the right time. Too much heat, too soon, and it's ruined. Too slow, and it never finishes. A withdrawal plan works the same way. It ensures your financial recipe turns out just right. A structured withdrawal strategy considers how much you need, when you need it, and from which account to draw. It also takes into account the tax implications, market performance, and your evolving lifestyle. This could include using the 4% rule as a baseline. Withdraw 4% of your portfolio annually, adjusted for inflation, but refining it to suit your unique situation. It also means coordinating withdrawals with your Social Security timing, required minimum distributions, RMDs, and balancing between Roth, traditional, and taxable accounts. That kind of layering done correctly can add years to the life of your portfolio and reduce unnecessary tax burdens. Without a plan, you're not just risking your savings, you're risking your freedom. Retirement should be about living with purpose, not counting every penny out of fear. And the irony is, the more confident your plan, the more relaxed your retirement will feel. So take the time to map it out or work with someone who can. You spent your entire career building this foundation. Now, make sure the way you spend it honors that effort with wisdom, not guesswork. Because in retirement, a clear withdrawal plan isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're over 50, this isn't the end of your story. It's the beginning of one of the richest, most intentional chapters of your life. But only if you approach it wisely. Avoid these mistakes. Review your plan. And most importantly, believe that it's never too late to make better choices. Let your next 20 or 30 years be filled with clarity, not confusion, stability, not stress, peace, not panic. Because a peaceful retirement isn't a fantasy, it's a plan. Thank you for spending this time with me. If this video gave you clarity, hope, or just one helpful reminder, please give it a like, share it with someone you care about, and subscribe to Advice for Life 50 Plus for more guidance tailored to your journey. Leave a comment below. What's one mistake you've avoided, or one you wish you hadn't made? Your story might help someone else. Until next time, stay wise, stay prepared, and remember, your best years can still be ahead.